This is Credit Talk, brought to you by NewBusinessFunders.com. And now, for some street smart conversation and education about understanding the game of credit so you can get money to fund your business, here's the host of Credit Talk, Troy Bulkey.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Credit Talk. This is Troy Bulkey with New Business Funders. We're here to give tips and advice and street smart ways to get your businesses funded, build your credit, and turn things around and make your small business a success. Today we have Don Gritten on our show. Welcome to the show, Donnie.
Thank you. It's good to be back. Thanks. We're having some technical difficulties trying to go live on Facebook, and just T-Mobile is just not working with me in this building. It's all right. We'll get that squared away. We'll get that taken care of. Yeah, thanks for having me here, man. It's really good. Tons of fun.
And one of the reasons why we have you here, Donnie, is because you spend a lot of time, just like I do, fighting the good fight, trying to get small businesses funded, and with a bunch of different angles. And everybody's different. I mean, you brought me a $40 million deal with a mining company who had the second largest crusher in the world, and he wanted to collateralize that. And we couldn't, because it takes so much money to take it apart and move it off the field that if they had to liquidate it, they couldn't liquidate it. So
yeah,
who would have thought of that?
No kidding. Yeah, they had the assets, but because, to pull it apart costs money, and then at that point, do you sell it or do you recycle it? Well, there was only about $3 million in steel that could be recycled, so to fund $40 million just wasn't worth it. Plus, there's cost of pulling it off the site. That was a really fun one, though. We got to play with that one for quite a while.
Well, it's kind of alive again, because another thing we didn't tell our listeners is that you had a bond attached to it. And the reason why I couldn't get it funded the first time is because even though it had a $40 million bond, the bond was not domestic. It was in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Which is a friendly.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's China, but it's still the more friendly part of China towards us.
Right. Well, for the next few years, anyways, their lease comes up in a bit. But it was a Hong Kong bond, and the bond was AAA rated. And at the time, we just didn't have the resources, unless it was a domestic bond, to get it monetized. Mm-hmm. And our conversation the other day, it sounds like you now have the resources to get that done.
It's amazing. So we're going to talk about different ways to get your businesses funded, and I'm going to start with some of the ones right in front of us, and I'm going to start with some of the new ones we've got.